Alrighty, fellow travelers, welcome back to Adventures of a Traveling Don and this journey across the West series that we are continuing here. This is our final day in the Bay Area, and I'm going to be showcasing another kind of winery tour for you guys. But this time, instead of Sonoma, we're going south. This is sort of like it's not a hidden gem place because people do know about it, but Livermore Wine Valley is not, of course, as prominent as Napa or Sonoma, which is weird because this is where wine in California truly started. Okay, so we're here in Livermore, California, and this honestly is where wine in California truly started off. And that was back in as early as the 1760s with the Spanish missionaries creating wines. And then in the 1840s is when, I believe his name was Robert Livermore, was the guy that came in and started like the first kind of commercial wines in the area. But it's been kind of, this is more of like truly the family still own, you know, Concannon, Wentz, things like that, and it is an amazing spot. It's a little bit more, it's further south than Napa Sonoma, so it's more inland, so it's drier air, it's a little bit warmer, you know, there's not as much temperature differential throughout the season, particularly during the summer growing season. So you're gonna have different styles of grapes, different flavors that come out. This is bigger, more definitely Chardonnay country. Most of the Chardonnay, I believe, clones in California, about like 80% or something like that, all come from the Livermore region. But you know, Petite Syrahs, things like that. This is a great wine country, and it's, you know, it's kind of slightly off the map because you're away from Napa Sonoma. It's much quieter, and we're starting off here at a place called McGrail Vineyards, which I've been to once before a few years ago when I was visiting Dad. So we're gonna go ahead and do a wine tasting here. But yeah, definitely want to give you guys a little bit of that history here in Livermore. Like I said, it's all started here in Livermore when it comes to wine. All right, so for the first taste that we have here at the McGrail Vineyards, this is actually kind of like a welcome Chardonnay that we're trying here. This is not part of, this is sort of like a little complimentary that we have, but it is about $20 for a traditional one, and then if you want to do the elevated tasting, they do, that is $35, which honestly, given if you watch the Sonoma video, and particularly if you've ever been to Napa, that's a steal compared to all those other places. But we're going to try this Chardonnay real quick for you guys. Ooh, see, now that's a really, really good Chardonnay. Yeah, well, like I said earlier, this region is known for the Chardonnays. All the clones kind of come from here, so you definitely get different texture, different flavor with all of that. That's absolutely fantastic compared to things like Sonoma and Napa. Not to say that those aren't good Chardonnays, but this is kind of where it all starts when it comes to Chardonnay in California. All right, so now we're actually delving into the tasting. We got the premier tasting, which is, like I said, it's $35, and this one is all their Cabernets. And so McGrail is mainly known as a Cabernet place. They do have other wines, but Cabernet, they started off as a cab house, and I think it was, what, 2004 is when she said they started, Dad?
Yes, yeah, 2004.
2004 is when so it's actually kind of younger compared to, you know, the Wentz and the Concannons, which have been around since the 1880s. But even still, it's, number one, it's a gorgeous winery. You get this beautiful broad sweeping view of the valley. But this Cabernet is their traditional Cabernet Reserve, one of the award winnings. All the ones you'll see are kind of like 90 plus points on Wine Enthusiast. They've all won awards. This is their 2019 Cabernet Reserve. That is very, very nice. I would say it's a little light, so maybe this is one that I think, Dad, you mentioned maybe it needs to age just a little bit.
Yeah, it's aged about 4 years right now, but I would say about another couple of years it'd be great. The tannin itself has not completely subdued, so you can actually taste a little bit of fuzziness at the end. Yeah. But it's a great cab.
Yeah, and I'd say, particularly during summertime, this would be a cab that's easy to drink because it's a little sweet, a little tart, not overly tannic and not overly heavy. So this is a great kind of starter, and definitely, like I said, a great summer cab. All right, so the second one here is the 2019 Patriot, and this is 100% American oak. What's actually kind of cool about this one is because the owner of the McGrail Vineyards has a history with being sheriff here in the county. What's kind of cool is a lot of the proceeds that come from this particular sale of the wine go towards, you know, veterans, first responders, veterans of the military, things like that. So if you're into supporting that kind of stuff, this is actually really good. And I can tell you right now, just by the smell, you get more vanilla notes out of this, really kind of like toasted, really good. Now let's try this real quick. So see, now we're actually going down the level when it comes to a little bit of more. There's more tannic structure to this. It's not as light. It's not as tart. This has kind of got like little earthy notes to it. She actually gave us some chocolates to kind of go with that. So I'm gonna try a little chocolate to go with that. Number one, I don't know where they got those chocolates because those are really good. I'm gonna try it with the. Oh yeah, that's a chocolate cab. That's really good. Okay, so the third of the cabs is the A Jo Elette, and it's basically, it's called The Good Life, which of course, whenever you're drinking wine, it's a good life. So this is supposed to be a little bit bolder, a little bit darker. So you're going down every time to a little bit more rich of a Cabernet. So we're gonna try this real quick. Ooh, that's nice. And it's actually smoother than the last one. It has those dark berry notes, kind of like the last one does. But on the flavor, you do have kind of like a slight vanilla sweetness to that. What else am I missing? What are you getting out of that, Dad?
It's clove.
Is that clove in there? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering what I'm missing there, and I couldn't pinpoint it, but that's a really, really nice Cabernet as well. So apparently my verbiage of, when I'm saying going down, not just going down the list, but going deeper into flavors. But my dad was taking issue with that because he was like, wait, you're supposed to be going up when it comes to the, so.
Taste enhancement goes up, not down. We're not going down to hell, we're going up to heaven.
I know, but it's like, for me, I'm going deep, I'm delving into it, you know? This is what I deal with. Like what you don't see a lot on camera is what I deal with all the time when I'm here. All right, so the fourth Cabernet that we have on the list is the James Vincent 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon. And this is, of course, named after James Vincent McGrail. So James Vincent McGrail was the original owner of this particular winery. What's actually kind of cool is throughout, you know, every year they'll come out with wines when a child, like a new grandkid is born, which I think one is just about to be born this year. They will come out this year or next year with a bottle in her name, so or his name, depending on the kid. But it's actually really kind of cool that they kind of keep everything in the family. I think his son is now a captain over with the force, and his daughters and daughter-in-laws all kind of like help run the estate. And I wouldn't be surprised if at least some of the grandkids, because I think now this is number 9 of the grandkids that are just coming up. So, but we're gonna try this. This is kind of like their top of the line that they have. So, cheers to you guys. And you can definitely tell why, because that's bold, delicious, a little tobacco in there. Obviously still got that whole dark fruit going on, but man, this is really, really, really nice. It's velvet, so the tannic structure is very much there, but it's kind of smooth. It's very velvety, as you would say. That's really nice. All right, so the final one that we're tasting is called their Clone 30 Cabernet. This has gotten 94 points from Wine Enthusiast. It actually, now, I've already tried an initial sip, and because she said that the clone was brought in by the original owner of See's Candy. So it's called the Sweet Clone, but I can tell you right now, this is not a sweet wine by any imagination. But the smell on it, that's just fantastic. There are kind of like, actually, cheers. I'll give you that real quick. Very nice, mellow, not a whole lot of acidity, but like you do have the dark tannins. It's very well balanced red wine. But yeah, this is honestly, of the 5, not including the Chardonnay that we had earlier, this is, to me, probably my favorite cab. That and the third one, which was the Hungarian oak. Now, what's fascinating, this one and the very first one that we tried earlier, these are all kind of like, they're barreled in 3 different styles of oak. So you have American, French, and Hungarian, and then they blend all of those together. The second, third, and fourth one that we tried just before this, those ones are each individually in their own, whether it's American, French, or Hungarian oak. So it's kind of an interesting style that they do. So it's still Cabernet, but they'll take Cabernets that are blended in 3 different oak barrels and put them together, which makes a really, really nice wine. So cheers to you guys. All right, so that has been McGrail Vineyards, and I really, really love this place. I've been here, like I said, once before with Dad. I think it was a couple years ago. And it's such a cool, kind of like family local owned place. It's not that big when compared to like some of the more bigger brand names around here, like Concannon and Went. But it's a little bit more homey. This is why we wanted to start with it. And what's kind of cool is they allow you to come out here and just kind of walk through the vineyards and check it out through the vines, because a lot of other places, particularly in Sonoma and Napa, they don't allow that, you know? It's all kind of closed off. You're literally stuck just within the tasting room or the restaurant itself. But yeah, it's just kind of cool to just walk through the vines, see the grapes here. This is gonna be an interesting year, 2023, by the way, because it's still kind of cool. Like right now, today, this is 3rd week of June as I'm shooting this, and it's still like barely touching 70 degrees with the wind chill. It's like 60, 68. So it's still rather cool. So it's going to be a later harvest. They had a lot more rain this particular year in 2023. So it'll be interesting to see when 2023 comes out in a couple of years or so, what the wine is going to be like. But man, just walking through these vines here, this is awesome. Oh, hang on. Dance, 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 dance. I said dance, 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 dance. Like 5 tastings, and this is where he's already at. All right, so we are at the second winery. In this place, we're gonna be having lunch. We're not gonna be doing a full tasting, but we are having lunch because Garre here is the vineyard that has, it's kind of like, what is it, Dad, like an Italian style?
Italian style, the cafe that serves Italian flair of food with Tempranillos, Sangioveses, Petit Syrah, and Syrah is one of their best wines.
Yeah. So I got myself a glass of Petit Syrah, but yeah, it's really kind of cool. And when you actually go inside, the cafe is absolutely fantastic. The way that they set it up, and you can watch them kind of cook from the fire in the pizza oven, either flatbreads or pizza. They also do pasta, so it is an Italian-style restaurant. But I got myself the Petit Syrah, so cheers to you guys. And that's nice. I love a good Petit Syrah. This area of Northern California wines is known more for the Petit Syrahs than, say, like Napa's more cabs and stuff like that. But this is good. It's just jammy, dark berry, a little vanilla. It's absolutely fantastic. And of course, because it is an Italian-style restaurant, you start off with the bread. So you go ahead and get bread, a little bit of olive oil. This is aged balsamic vinegar, so it's gonna hit you different. This is Italian balsamic vinegar compared to, you know, just the regular store-bought, and it's just gonna hit you a little bit different. So be gentle with the balsamic if you can't handle vinegar too much. And it shows fresh made bread here as well. Really amazing. Now, I'm waiting for my pizza, but this is a great start. All right, so the second one, as you can notice, I also have my jacket on because, weirdly enough, end of June, it's still cool out here, particularly with the wind going on. So.
Second day of summer.
Second true day of summer. It's the 3rd, it's like the 22nd or 23rd of June. It's like, what is going on here? But hey, I'm not really gonna complain, given that I came from Texas, where it's like now 105. So, but anyway, we're gonna try Dad's Syrah. So we had the Petit Syrah, which is what I've got a glass of. Now we have Dad's Syrah. So cheers to you guys. And that is a whole different flavor profile. Wow. Yeah, so that is a little bit richer, a little bit darker, definitely more like kind of like peppery to it. Whereas, and this is jammy. This is pepper. This is entirely different wine. Even though they both have the kind of Syrah name to it, it's your Petit Syrah and Syrah, two entirely different wines. But wow. This is kind of a little bit more my style. I like the jamminess of it. This is kind of very, very easy to drink, but this is a great kind of sipping wine. Yeah, when you're here, get their Syrah. All right, guys, so lunch has arrived, and basically I got myself a pizza. You know, I saw the oven in there. I was like, I have to try the pizza here. I think last time I was here, I had pastas, so I haven't had their pizzas just yet. But it is kind of like a wood-fired style pizza in a brick oven. And I got what they have going on right now is a smoked salmon pizza with, it's got olives, it's got capers, it's got a little bit of, I think, arugula on top, just a touch. And then, what's the last thing on there, Dad?
Creme fraiche.
Yeah, there's a little creme fraiche is kind of like what you got going on there for the cheese. So we're gonna give this a big old, Oh my God. Oh my God. You have the saltiness of the olives and the capers, and just like that flavor of the salmon. That is absolutely fantastic.
It goes very well with the red wine.
Wow. Try that. Now I've got the Syrah. Oh yeah.
That is good.
Oh yeah, that's just, yeah, whenever you're in Livermore, come to Garre. You can do the tasting. The tasting room is a separate from the cafe. So go to the tasting room if you haven't already been here before. Do a tasting and then come to the cafe and have lunch. You will love it. All right, guys, so for the third winery, we're stopping here. We're gonna grab a bottle and try this here at Concannon Vineyards. And Concannon Vineyards is one of the original wineries here in the Livermore district. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been here once before. I did a tasting. This time, we're gonna be trying something I actually tried when it first came out a few years ago. It is now their 2016 Concannon Cabernet Spring Mountain District. So the grapes do come from the Napa Valley district, but it is made here. And I'll give you a little taste real quick. And that's really good. So it's a bit of a lighter cab, but it still has that kind of like dark berry cherry with a little bit of herbal earthy notes to it. Really nice. But honestly, if you're ever in the Livermore region, Concannon most people know about because you can find Concannon wines in stores anywhere, but you have to come to the estate. The estate is absolutely gorgeous. They have this really cool, like what is now a guest house. It used to be the old Concannon family house, which is fantastic. They have, of course, the tasting room. They used to have a restaurant, but I think they got rid of that, unfortunately. But they have this beautiful grounds where you can just come out here and enjoy your wine, maybe get some cheese and meats from their deli. And it's really kind of cool. And there's a lot of history to it too, because it goes back to, what was it on here? It says 1883, I believe, is when the vineyard first started. It's one of the originals, like I said, in Livermore. And it's one of the first place, I think it's actually the first place in America where they did Petit Syrah. And also, I believe 80% of, I think around California, there's about 88,000 acres, I read, of Cabernet grape vines. 80% of those 88,000 come from here as clones. and they've basically been put all over California throughout the years. So yeah, this is a big place for Cabernet. Petite Sirah is also what they're known for, because it's the first place in America for Petite Sirah. But Cabernet here is what they know. Honestly, this has just been a Cabernet, like with a little bit of Petite Sirah. This has been a Cab video, so it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, if you're ever here, check out Concannon Vineyards. Absolutely amazing. So as I stated before, Concannon Grounds is absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend when you're done with your wine, definitely come and just kind of walk the grounds. As you can see, like I said earlier, the old state house here that the Concannon family used to live in, it's now, you can rent that out for a guest house. It's really cool, and it's just basically surrounded by the vines here, right? It's absolutely amazing. And the fact that over there, you can see how big, you know, like I said, you can find Concannon wines in almost any store, grocery store, wine store, whatever, because they have a huge, massive winemaking facility here. It is off the charts. I think like the only one that's slightly bigger would be Went outside of that. But this place is absolutely amazing. So yeah, definitely Concannon Vineyards. If you're ever in Livermore, check it out. All right, guys, so that is going to be the end of this video. So I gave you guys 3 vineyards. Whenever you're here in Livermore, there's so much more to explore, but definitely if you ever get the chance, make sure you put these 3 on your map whenever you decide to come out here. But that is going to be the end of this Bay Area series here for the Journey Across the West. I'll see you guys next time in LA. But before we go, I got to kind of give a final verdict real quick. Michael, of the 3, what's your favorite?
Always Concannon.
Always Concannon. Dad?
Always Concannon.
Always Concannon. Now, is that just purely the wine?
No, I love the setting. I love the style. And of course, being a part Irish, I am favorite to Irish-owned winery in America.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so, and my personal favorite, I would say, wine-wise, definitely the Concannon. That was probably the best Cabernet I had. The experience, though, I had a little bit more hominess with McGrail, so I love that. So it's kind of a toss-up. I go Concannon, but McGrail hard second when it comes to that. Plus, you can never beat out the food that was at Garre. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this particular Bay Area part of the Journey Across West series. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. I'll get to those as soon as I can. And of course, if you liked the video, give it a big old thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you want to help support the channel and of course my travels, I do have a Patreon page. I've got a lot of kind of fun exclusive stuff I am putting on that page for you guys. So links will be in the description below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee account. But until we meet again, guys, peace out. Have a great night.